that belt squeak, we're going to fix that. So the Chargers had a little bit of a belt squeak. It started off when I would first start the car, I would get a little squeak, or when I would first shut off the engine, there'd be a little squeak at the end. I tried tightening the air compressor, the AC compressor belts, which was also the alternator belts, but that didn't fix it. These belts, the AC belts and the power steering belt, are both less than a year old. I assumed it was these. They were a little loose, but I tightened them. That didn't solve the problem. So it must be this one, even though it's plenty tight. And what I found is, if I rub these pulleys, if I feel inside the pulleys on the AC compressor and the alternator and on the engine down here and those pulleys, I'm not really getting anything. But if I do that on the power steering pulleys, look at that. And that. And it's kind of greasy. Which goes back to the history of this car. When I first got it, there was grass wrapped all around this mess here. We're behind the pulley on the power steering pump. And, oh, look at that. And this seal was leaking. This belt was soaked. The original belt was soaked with power steering fluid. So I'd taken the power steering pump off. I'd cleaned it all up. I replaced the seal in the front, painted it all up. And it's been okay, but I guess when I cleaned up these pulleys, I didn't clean them good enough, and they've still got some junk on them. This one was especially dirty, and I had to clean it quite a bit. So today I'm going to take this belt off, clean these pulleys up, and see if I can get my squeak to quit. Okay, I cleaned it up. I sprayed brake parts cleaner on a rag. This was a clean sock when I started. And swabbed it around in the groove. Not all of this came from inside the grooves of the pulleys. Some of it came from the outside of the pulleys because I wanted to make sure the outside was clean as well. But a significant amount of that came from in the grooves on the pulleys. I cleaned all 3 pulleys that belt runs on and stuck the belt back on there. Now I just need to tension it and check for squeak. Okay, I tightened it up. The manual says for a used belt, which is any belt that's been ran longer than 15 minutes, you torque it to 35 foot-pounds. You do that by getting your torque wrench like that, and sticking that square in that square hole like this. If I can do this at the same time, like that, and then you hold torque this direction till your needle reads about 35 pounds. You hold torque on that at 35 pounds while you tighten this bolt first, since it's furthest away from the pivot point, and then this one. This one will actually hold it in place better than that. So you tighten that one first, and then you can tighten this one. Anyway, it's torqued to 35 foot-pounds now, and we'll see if it squeaks. Pretty sure it's not going to. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I did go ahead and take squirted some brake parts cleaner on a clean paper towel and lightly wiped the sides of the belt. I didn't want to soak the belt down. You're not really supposed to have fluids on your belts, but I wanted to make sure the sides of it were clean, so I gently wiped it down with brake cleaner and got some stuff off of it. Let's see where to start. If I can find my keys. Amazingly enough, I can't find my keys. Not those keys. Not those keys. I can hear them. Those keys. That's much better. No squeak whatsoever. I'm going to call that a success.